What's up, everybody? You know what is in my hand right now. These are a pair of Apple's AirPods. They're wireless earbud headsets, and I've had them for about 4 days now, but what I really wanted to do is talk to you about them. There's things that are good about them. There's things that I wish they could improve, but this is kind of my overall take for you guys to really grasp what makes these good and bad. So first of all, the look. I've been hating on them from the start, and I'm not gonna keep on piling onto them. The look isn't for me, but it doesn't mean that, you know, the way that these look isn't for you, right? They have this long stem. When you put them in your ear, it can look like a Q-tip or, you know, a tampon or something like that. But again, if you like how these look, you're gonna just like them. And also, once you put them in their ears, they're really light. You don't see how you look with them, so I know there's gonna be a lot of people that don't care, so maybe you will like how these work out. Now, one of the things about this that is good is the fit. If you wear the EarPods, the wired headphones that come free with your iPhone from before, these are gonna fit pretty much just the same. I think the biggest advantage is that they're a lot lighter. You don't have the weight of the cables kind of pulling down on you. And I even did something, I bought one of those third-party wires just to kind of make these look a little better, that just connects them from side to side. And I shook my head all over the place. In fact, when you wear them with a wire, they'll pop out of your ears. But if you don't, they're going to actually stay in your ears. And then another big part about this is, how do they actually sound? Now, I tested it with 5 different genres of music. I did like EDM, classical, hip hop, rock, and I was listening to kind of, like a podcast. But what makes these different? They're slightly better sounding. They're a little fuller, but if you're in a crowded area, you're walking around in the street, or you have any background noise, you're really not going to be able to tell. But if you're in a really dead silent area like I was when I tested these out, you're going to hear a slight difference. So there's nothing like game changing. The best part about this is really syncing them to your phone. It has this W1 chip that works in partnership with Bluetooth. Literally, when I first pop open this case, a panel shows up on my phone. It lets me know that it's there. I can sync them instantly. That was really smooth. And then because it syncs your iCloud account, then other devices like your laptop or your iPad can then use these as well, just with syncing it that first time with your iPhone. So that was pretty sweet. But after using these for the past few days, I really wanted to talk about what Apple could do to make these even better. And the first thing is functionality. Now, people really aren't talking about this. When you double tap the AirPods, you can either use it for Siri, or you can use it to pause and play tracks, but you can't do both things. People are missing out on this. You actually have to go into the settings and pick either double tap for Siri or double tap to pause and play your tracks. You can't do anything like volume control. You can't do anything like changing the tracks. Those things have to be done directly on your phone. So when you're using these, you're actually losing a lot of functionality. All right, the next thing is the tap controls. Now, really, if Apple wants to take this to the next level, they need to add touch controls. And what do I mean by that? Well, whenever you double tap for Siri, you actually have to tap on it pretty hard. They told me, oh, you'll get used to the pressure, but still, after 3-4 days, when I double tap, it's like pushing it into my ear. I don't like how that feels. So if they added touch controls, think of this, using that kind of stem on the AirPod to change the volume up and down. Maybe on the other side, use it to switch the tracks up and down, and then maybe just touching the top part of it to prompt Siri on one side, touching the top side on the other part just to pause and play. If they added that type of functionality and made it the same that you're getting from the wired EarPods, that will help take these to the next level as well. And the third thing is syncing these. We already talked about how great it is, but they have another ways to go. For example, when I sync these to my iPhone, I can also use them with my laptop or iPad, but it looks different. The interface that you use looks different on each device. You have to go into the music player, change it if you're on your iPad. On your MacBook, you have to go up to the top of the menu bar, select the AirPods. Again, they show up there, but the way that you sync them to the different devices, it changes depending on what device you use. Apple can make it a lot more cohesive, look the same, and I just hope they put up something like a panel that shows which devices are within proximity. You just click one and you're good to go. So although the syncing is quick and really nice, they can do even better than that. Overall, the AirPods are really nice. I think if you're someone in the Apple ecosystem that's been looking forward to them, you're not gonna be disappointed. But for someone like me, look, they cost $159. I like them, but I wouldn't put money down for them. Maybe if someone like got them for me like as a gift, you know, I see you, then I'd be all about it. But really, these have a ways to go, and they're only gonna get better, and I'm kind of really more curious to see what they do in the second generation. But there you have it, kind of my overall take on the Apple AirPods and what they could do to make them even better.